Carl, do you know what happens when you die?
No.
You don't?
No.
I do.
What happens?
Oh, you'll have to find out. My name's Oscar.
My name's Carl.
And
This is Who Would Watch This?
Welcome to Who Would Watch This, the podcast where we watch a film, chat about the film, and then try and figure out who would watch it.
Today, we are reviewing The Pope's Exorcist, which currently has a 50% on Rotten Tomatoes, a 6.1 on IMDb, and a 2.5 on Letterboxd. Oscar, what's the plot?
Following Gabe, the Vatican leader's exorcist, as he investigates the possession of a child and uncovers a conspiracy the Vatican has tried to keep secret. Oh my god.
I do love you giving Gabrielle a little nickname. You're like, he's Gabe to me.
Well, he's
Gabe. He's
Gabe.
Gaby.
I'll give you this because I thought, spoilers, there is a demon in this, and I did think the demon was calling him gay for the whole thing. I was only right at the end, I was like, really realized the demon was calling him Gabe.
It's crazy the demon was like, nah, me and you were on a first name basis. Bro.
Yeah,
like,
right?
It's
It's Gabriel, so it's crazy he was like, I'll shorten it, and that's how I'm going to... Very presumptuous of this demon, huh?
It is funny that you also bring up that thing because I thought when they found the demon's name, its name was Smoothie, and I thought that was hilarious, but it's not. It's just the letters looked funky on the page.
Carl, before we get into the Pope's Exorcist, should we go back to hours ago, hours before we'd watched the film, and think who we thought would watch this?
Yes, let's do it. Oscar, we've done a quick and hard pivot. We're going to go and watch The Pope's Exorcist.
Yes. Really
quickly, what are your expectations? Where's this heading? Who would watch it?
I feel like, one, we had it in the Razzies. We missed it. And I remember feeling depressed that we missed it. Because we love a little Russell Crowe vehicle.
Oh, we do.
Him in a vehicle.
Yeah. Unhinged, if you will.
Unhinged. And I feel like the only thing I know about The Pope's Exorcist is, one, the name, and two, he's on that little Vespa.
Oh my god, all I know is him chugging along in that little V.
Honestly, if that was the pitch, the elevator pitch, they're like, we've got Russell Crowe in this little thing. They're like, well, we'll make 18 of them. I don't know. I don't know how silly it wants to be. I hope it's silly. Otherwise, I hope it's not boring. It shouldn't be boring. With a name like this and Russell Crowe like on the poster looking down with a cross, like staring out, it should just be fun. Who's it for? I guess... What was the unhinged audience? I would say DVD bargain bins. You go, oh, kind of like a step up from that.
Yeah.
But I don't think they have that anymore. So I guess not on Amazon. Maybe it's like on another streaming platform.
For people who love to like dig for a movie on a streaming platform, like, you know, they go down to like the related films and then go all the way to the end. And that's where you'll find the unhinged.
That's where you find the gold. You're watching Gladiator. It's like, great. Well, we've got some good recommendations for you.
That's right.
Russell Crowe made a film 25 years later. He's a pope. He's the pope.
The only thing I really remember from that movie is him being like, why didn't you give me a courtesy tap? And I was just like, he's absolutely right.
A courtesy tap?
Don't you remember? He was like, why have you given such an aggressive
unhinged
horn?
Yes.
Give a courtesy tap.
I feel like it was bad. We blamed the woman immediately. We were like, "Hey, you should," because he was like, "You should have given me a little tap." We were like, "He's a kind man."
As I myself, an unhinged driver,
Yeah,
I think I would have enjoyed a courtesy tap.
I think that's so polite. Everyone knows that. Like, if you're waiting at the lights and someone's on their phone, you give a little tit. And no harm, you know?
Who am I kidding? I would never touch my horn. I'm petrified of touching the horn and being an inconvenience to anyone else on the road.
I have a gun in my car just for situations like that, you know?
Don't you? If you touch your horn, doesn't a bullet just go off somewhere?
Shoots me in the face.
Yeah.
It shoots me directly in the face. And fair enough, I bought the car for that specific reason.
It's to keep you behaving on the road. Nice. I don't know much about it either. I have no expectations for it because I haven't seen a trailer.
Yeah.
I don't. All I know is the Vespa thing, to be honest.
I'm keen to see what his performance is like, because I think that was the nomination for the Razzies, right?
Was he nominated?
I think, yeah, he was.
I would hope so.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I
feel
hope
like
he's playing it unhinged. Like that movie we've already talked about.
Was he nominated for Unhinged?
I don't think so. I think it was a big snub. I think everyone remembers that as a big
he's
snub.
Definitely churned out some bad performances, so I feel like he's probably been nominated.
Yeah.
For like, I mean, because was he nominated for Les Miserables?
Was he? Was he that bad in that? I've never seen Les Mis. Never seen Les Mis.
He's pretty bad in it.
Damn.
There's absolutely no reason for him to be in that film.
It's Jean Valjean. Is he that? Which one is he?
He's Jean Valjean's the lead. He's
the prison guard.
Yeah,
I just remember seeing him jumping off the building and falling in the. That's the only scene I've seen in Les Mis.
He's great in that scene. He falls well. Like his career, he's just fallen from grace.
How dare you?
Just absolutely
This is a Russell
down.
Positive podcast, okay?
This is a safe
Who would watch
space for
this?
Russell
Russell
fans.
heads, huh? Big Russell heads.
It is funny to me. He's done like a handful of religious movies because he's done like Boy Erased. He's done this. He did. What's the other Christian movie he did like?
Oh,
recently?
The Mummy. He was Dr. Jekyll.
He was hyper Christian in The Mummy.
Well, Hyde was Christian. What's it called? Jekyll was Buddhist.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's right.
Good dichotomy right there.
And Tom was in the middle, just being like, you guys.
I don't know.
I've got this great religion over here,
Yeah,
so if
yeah.
you want to jump on board.
Jump on board. And Russell's like, good. Even Hyde was a bit like, yeah, man, I don't know.
Hyde was like, who is this man? I think this is going to be for. I assume that look, if you've made a movie called The Pope's Exorcist, it's for two types of people.
Yeah.
For people who love exorcism movies and people who love the Pope.
Yeah.
And surely there's a great crossover.
I mean, that's a huge audience. That's a crazy bin to go to all Christians. That's huge.
Absolutely.
You're getting like 1.7. That's Avatar money, you know?
Yeah.
That's a really good way to target some audiences.
Yeah, no. These people thought they were absolutely on their way to a James Cameron scenario. They were like, we can't lose. This is our generation's Titanic.
Carl, the Pope's exorcist, has driven his little moped into my house, and now he's exercising me.
Has he driven his little Vespa into your heart as well?
I think so. I think okay.
Where are we? Because we've been a bit. Where are you sitting on
We're
this?
very
bad
coy.
boy?
I was pretty fucking bored for the first hour and 10 minutes.
Yeah.
And then the film goes, all right, here we go. And I think that last 30 is great.
I was definitely on board for the first 15 minutes,
Yeah.
and then I fell off, and then I thought the last third of it, I was like, this is
Hells
nutty.
yeah,
This
finally.
is nutty as hell.
Yeah.
I was like, now I get it. This is what you come for. This is classic cinema at its finest.
I mean, how dare the Razzies mock this? This
know.
is great.
Oh no, it's absolutely true though. Russell Crowe is indeed giving one of the absolute worst performances of his career, no doubt.
But I think having such a ball with it, isn't he?
Oh, he
He's got
is.
that little. He must have gone. I've got making a choice. I'm Italian. They're gone. Oh, okay. Well,
It's like he based his accent off spaghetti commercials.
SpaghettiOs.
Yeah,
as well.
SpaghettiOs.
Yeah.
Like, the American canned just
Yeah.
knockoff of what
That like
Italians
that
stand
Italian man
for.
holding a can on the can. That's what he was like. I want to embody that.
He's
as an
one
actor.
of the what's the big pasta brand in Australia?
Ravioli. Oh wait, don't.
What's the one with the two Italians on the front, like holding a
Dolmino,
loaf?
Dominus. I can't
that
remember.
one.
Yeah,
He's doing that.
He's doing the Muppet one. the Muppet Italians. Like, oh wow, when I really found this, he's doing that.
He's doing. I mean, I think it's a Swedish chef, but he's still essentially just being like a scooty doo, a booty doodly doo, Exorcist.
Should we get into the film, Carl?
I think we should. You know what really threw me?
Yes.
The fact that this was a period piece. Did you know this?
I did not know it was a
Did you
period
know this
piece,
at all?
and I wrote down the first date because I'm like, oh, okay, fine, whatever. We're going to start in 1987, and then we're going to go to the modern day. No, they shouldn't have started with the year. They should have said brackets the month, because they should have said at the start, hey, this is going to take all in 1987, and we'll actually get the month is the main thing you got. So I have no idea where is this chronological.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm confused as to where. I don't know what the time length is of the entire film.
I think 3. Well, I only realized like 4 jumps in that it was all the same year. I went, oh fuck, I better start writing these months
Well, I
down.
don't know why they even bother to give you something on the
I don't know.
screen. You could just not show anything, and you would still just be like, well, I guess this is in the 80s.
Yeah.
I don't know why they've clued us in to be like, oh, this is February in the 80s. That'll help the viewer navigate
Jump
what's going
back
on
into that
here.
time period as you personally when you were, hunting ghosts.
Absolutely. It's me just being like, oh, there wouldn't be a pig in spring. And then I'm like, oh, it's February. It's fine.
In the Italian
Yeah,
coastline.
in the Italian coastline. We get a hard zoom in on Russell Crowe as he enters after
Yeah.
he's hopped off his little Vespa, and you know you're in for a treat of a scene. The fact this is their prologue, and it is the least exciting possible exorcism ever committed to film. And that's what made me hyper invested in the film. I was like, oh, this movie's going to be phenomenal.
Because I was expecting so that he walks into a house. We established that he's. Now I had to look this up. Maybe it is true, but I think it's bullshit. They're like, "Hi, I'm the Pope's exorcist." Like, the Vatican just has one.
Like he's
on
got a
retainer.
card.
Yeah, he's got Hi, I'm the Pope's Exorcist. How you doing? He walks into this barn. He looks at, like, I don't know, the guy who's... I thought the girl who was being...
yes, I thought the exact same thing.
Because these parents are weird. They're standing by the kid going, oh, she's drawing some weird stuff. And they go, oh, by the way, we've got this freak in the bed behind us.
Yeah, and I was like, oh, okay, this girl must be good at math, so it's a bit of like a witch thing,
Yes.
you know? And then they're like,
the
no,
80s were a different time, you know? You had to burn a woman if she was doing mathematics.
I would have loved him to go over to this little girl and been like, what are you drawing there? And she's just like, I don't know, I'm just doing a bit of algebra. And he's just like, she can't be saved. We have to kill her immediately.
I'll kill her now. Yeah, we'll get across.
Hello, Pope, it's your exorcist. We're gonna have to kill a child out here at a barnyard.
I don't know how people are contacting to get the Exorcist, because it seems as though they all have like a main line to the Pope, and then the Pope's like, oh, I'll get my best guy on it. Is he just like a Nick Fury-esque of it?
I think the Pope's exorcist maybe goes wherever the wind blows. I think it might be one of those scenarios.
Oh, gotcha. You know, he's like Nanny McPhee.
Yeah.
He's needed where he's needed.
I think so. I think it's one of those things where, you know, the Pope accepts a call and they're like, we need the exorcist, and he's like, by God, he might already be there.
Yeah.
You know, like that's
they
the
call
bat single.
like the Pope's like, check your front door, and Russell's there in his little Vespa. He's trying to he's trying to siphon gas.
He's trapped underneath it because of the mud, and he's like, somebody get this off my leg. It's very weighty. It's got all my whiskey on the back.
We get this exorcist. He saves it. He shoots a pig.
Okay, so I think this is the funniest thing about this exorcism.
Yeah.
Is the fact that he's like, hey, are you a demonic demon? And the guy's like, yeah. And he's like, I bet you can't, I don't know, hop into that pig over there. Yeah. And Satan's just like, oh, I could do it, you little fucking
you
dickhead.
fucking pussy.
Wait until you see me inside this goddamn pig, God. You were gonna look like such a fool. And I was like, way to make a laughing stock of, I guess, the villain of the movie.
Yeah, this is it's canonical. This is the villain throughout the film. This is like his demon he's been like chasing. It seems like I guess there's one devil, but I assume like, I don't know, he'd get around. But it seems like it's just this devil.
No, and it's just like once he hops into that pig and they shoot the pig and he's like, and I guess I'm done here. I was like, this is your opening?
No, like he didn't do any of the Exorcist stuff. He was just tricked the devil, which is a crazy thing to do straight off the bat. Seems like this guy's like the winner. How is he ever going to lose?
I know. It's crazy I love that that's the only reason they have the pig as well. Like, it's...
Well, I assume it was their, like, I don't know, their livelihood, and Russell really just stepped on the pig, you know, really curbs on that pig.
Couldn't they have done something else? Like, hey, can you jump? Hey, a demon, I bet you can't possess, I don't know, a stack of hay.
Imagine him sticking a stack of hay. Like, well, I guess we're done here. I mean, it's demonic hay, but what's it going to do, you know?
I just thought it was crazy to do this and make the villain seem so comedically dumb, because I sat back with my arms crossed and I was like, I could be the Pope's exorcist.
Oh, easy.
I could do this at a heartbeat.
Yeah,
it's just negging someone. I'm already good at doing that. Like...
You wouldn't fit in that pig, huh? Oink, oink, oink. All right, I'll do it.
Look at you. I bet you wouldn't be able to hop into this chicken, you chicken.
So that's our introduction to Mr. Exorcist Pope.
Yeah. So for the listener at home, I'm at a 5 out of 5 for the movie so far.
I'm vibing at the moment.
I'm fully in. It's a hard cut to 80s music.
Yes.
So I'm like, this is going.
Good cheekiness. Now this is where I was like, oh shit, it's the same. It's 1987. The whole thing's set then, but I guess it's March. So good thing you know.
Does that help?
I don't think so.
Why'd they give us the dates? I don't think that helps.
I think it was fine. They went. It's 1987. I don't know why, because it seems like it's good 2-month jumps. Which makes you think, I don't know, I guess things would take longer back then.
It's like in a movie when they're like, oh, this takes place in, 1945.
Yeah.
And then it jumps ahead and they go, now.
Yeah.
But it's a movie from the 80s. And I'm watching it in 2020.
Yeah.
And so that's not now. Just put the fucking year on it if you're going to jump around,
100%.
Like, I don't think, because now I'm confused.
Is this
confused. How you envision 2020 would be?
I was ready for them to be like, we're going to jump to the modern day. And, I mean, I guess should we spoil?
Just go for it.
Fuck it. It's a true story. So it's crazy that they were like, and I've never seen this.
Well, I mean, true story in quotation marks. I don't think this is... I believe he was around when a pig got shot once? Yes.
Oh, I believe this 100%. I'm convinced this is the only thing they took from the story. They went, he went to a farmer who told the devil to jump into a pig and then shot the pig. I believe that 100%.
I believe it. I've been around for that to happen in modern day times. That's how much I believe this opening story.
I love modern day times. Like, it was like witch times, like just the 80s. They had cell phones.
Just like really less than a decade before I'm born.
We get introduced to the family. They're moving. There's the mum, there's the daughter, and there's the son. They're moving into an old rickety house.
Yeah.
I don't know why.
I mean, an old rickety house, I think, is an understatement. They're moving into a fucking castle.
Yeah. Why?
Okay, let's discuss the dynamic of this family.
Yes.
Right? The mum, right? Her husband, father of both kids, I think.
I think so. Yes.
Gets impaled in a car accident.
We see the impaling. The son was in the back seat, and that's sort of like one of the doctors like, anything bad happened to this kid? She goes, you know what? There was that time that my son saw my husband get impaled.
His own father impaled brutally in front of him. But I've never thought that would be connected to anything.
No, I don't. It's not really connected at all, really. It's just I guess the doctors don't take it seriously.
Yeah, so the son hasn't talked in a year or two, right? And because the dad died, it plunged these three Americans, this American family, into debt. And the only thing the dad owned was this house?
I guess so. That's the story. It is crazy that they seem to be pretty down their luck. They're like, all right, that's fine. Let's hire, 14 men, goons, to come and help us move into the castle. And stuff goes awry.
Well, I mean, they're not only moving into the... But I think they're also all of the renovators.
Yes.
As well.
Yeah.
So they're spending a fair drop of money renovating the place.
We find out, soon later, some of the builder goons blow themselves up because I guess there's gas. We assume gas.
Yeah.
They're like, we're getting out of here. We got the willies. We can't be here anymore.
There were so many explosions in this movie. It shocked me how many explosions there were. This is one of the most action-packed horror movies I've ever seen.
100%. I don't know what the budget was for flying people back from an explosion.
Oh my God.
It happened, and people just getting pushed by the... Yeah. That's the ghost's, main thing, They love pushing the thing.
They're breaking... mirror budget must have been through the roof.
They break mirrors in the same room constantly. People
absolutely.
are putting mirrors back
Who's
up.
putting them back up?
I don't know. It's crazy.
You'd think at one stage you'd just be like, Mom, let's get all the antiques out of here.
And let's put some padding on the walls,
let's put mattresses everywhere. Just in case somebody gets thrown again. Also, nobody should be wearing clothing because that's how they... I feel like I could outsmart a demon very quickly. Yeah. I would enter nude, already padded with items that would soften my blow.
And you've already freaked out the ghost because now he's thinking what the hell's this?
What's going on?
Yeah.
That demon's already tied up on the bed.
He's thrown up.
That's right. He's thrown up everywhere. And I'm like, that only makes me stronger. So they move into this place.
Yes. They're given nothing. I thought we'd really be following them and Mr. Pope would come back. Sorry, Russell Crowe.
Russell Crowe, if you will. The Pope's exorcist, if you mind.
Yes, I shall. The girl's a bit of a rebel. The son's creepy, but don't worry, he's immediately possessed.
Yeah, absolutely. So it's like you go, the son is just a just creepy 100% of the time.
Yeah.
In fact, I feel like he comes across as a more approachable child once he's possessed.
I think so, right? He's chatting, he's kind of cool, he's fine.
I think it's one of those things where I know it must suck for this mom that the husband did die in a car accident.
Okay, let's see how you go with this.
I think she's going to reflect on this exorcism and think that it was for the better.
Yeah, I think
it's done a lot for that child's confidence.
I think here's the thing, 100%. A year ago, when was he throwing up on people? Now look at him. He's throwing up his sister. He's groping his mum. It's very brave.
He's thriving. He's spelling. He's got words on his chest, so he's learning.
Oh, exactly.
Absolutely.
He can spell God backwards, on his chest. It's great. Good for him, huh?
Good for him, right?
I'm back on this devil's
He's
side.
absolutely learning. I think this has happened a few times. It's happened in The Exorcist 2. It's happened in Truth or Dare. Sometimes these demons are just there to help.
Sometimes I'm always on their side because, although they've got a motivation and they've got a goal and they're trying to get that, and quite frankly, the motivation for this kid, bit creepy.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I think it's like, let's get this kid some confidence.
Yeah.
Let's get him out of the box, I think this would be good. If I have a child that isn't doing well in school, isn't speaking, maybe my husband's been impaled.
By, a big shard of glass.
Yeah, by a big shard of glass. What am I going to do? Get myself a cheeky little demon.
I'm going to say right now, it's a pretty win-win because you're also getting a holiday in Italy. So that's a huge...
I know, right?
Oh, no. I have to go to one of these massive houses in Italy for, selling it for €1, and I get my kid to get some confidence. Oh, boo-hoo,
How do we know this mum didn't orchestrate the husband's death to get the money from this house?
Oh, that's so huge.
Because sins were meant to be revealed.
There's a lot of themes floating around, and the film, and that's why I like the film at the end, because they kind of go, fuck it, we're not doing any of those.
Oh, yeah, the film gives up on itself.
it's pretty brave. They're like, we don't want it. We don't care about these family. They don't bother following the family, do they?
They give no interest. As soon as the family yeets out of the movie, we are never to learn if things went okay for them or not. Like, I guess we hope that the demon's not in that boy anymore, but there's no way to know. We never return.
They're gone.
They're gone. Anyway, so they're hanging around. Everybody, all of the movers and all the renovators move once the...
Yeah, they do, which I think is bullshit. They were like, oh man, there's probably a ghost here. They just blew themselves up. It's an absolute work and safety problem, and they've thrown the onus on them.
As well as they should have. I bet it was an insurance thing. Just been like, nah, man, but what were you doing? I don't know. We were just sort of smoking down near an open gas line. Let's put it back on the on the wife who's just lost a husband and has a kid that doesn't talk and a daughter that fucking hates her.
She smokes as well. She does. She's a rebel. She
is. She's a rebel. She's teetering on the edge of death, both in the way she treats her lungs and where she chooses to smoke.
Oh, she loves hanging from a loose balcony, huh? Anyway, the film also kind of gets bored with his family because
absolutely,
we're following Russell Crowe.
As do I.
Yeah,
I get very quickly bored with the family.
Anyway, the son's possessed, and we're gonna find
it. It does move fairly quickly though, in terms of minutes later the son's possessed.
Yeah,
and then they're like, okay, he's clearly possessed. Let's get a priest in.
Yes,
and then we get a priest in, and the demon's like, not that one.
Yeah.
And then we get Russell Crowe, and I'm like, wow, they're moving very
they're
quickly.
Quick. They know their stuff. I want to know where it slows down because it's definitely the middle that I was like. This is a bit of a bore.
The moment he comes in to help this family.
Yes.
Because nothing interesting happens for a while.
No.
Well, it's not... nothing gripping happens. There is constant action on screen.
Yes. Well, I think the problem is that with any of these films is that I don't really know how an Exorcist works. And I feel like if you have the cross, sometimes the demon hates it, sometimes the demon loves it. So I don't really know what, like, it's like I'm going to say magic in the universe, because it is kind of magic in this one. Yeah. It's crazy.
Well, I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
Because I don't know because this one uses like a coin or a medallion.
Yes.
You know? I don't know...
I don't know what
the items are.
I don't know what they are. I don't know how powerful they are.
Yeah.
You know, like at least a gun, I'd be like, oh, it's a small gun. So that's probably won't be
They
as
need
much.
to, once he's got his little knapsack
and
he unzips it, he should be telling us on a scale from 1 to 10 how much each item should do.
Yes. Holy water. What's that? Like,
yeah,
is that
where
7?
does holy water land? Because I can drink it, right? It gets you a little bit buzzed.
It does.
But what's that going to do to the demon?
I don't know. Probably get a little bit buzzed too.
I don't know. Oh,
a
little bit of a party.
Oh my god, this kid drunk on holy water would be fucking mad.
Me walking in naked to a demon with a little bit of holy water, being like, guys, are we getting fucked up tonight? I've moved all the mirrors. Let's just toss each other around. I do also want to bring up, because I think we've all at this point in our lives seen a lot of exorcism movies as well. And we've also seen the most famous exorcism movie,
we have.
The Exorcist.
That's the one.
We did the sequel on the podcast.
Yes.
The Heretic. And I think this kid is giving nothing in comparison to what I've seen before.
I felt bad because they've dubbed over his voice with... Do you know what actor it is?
No.
I got it immediately.
Oh, really?
Because his voice is quite good, but I just think the syncing of the kid...
I don't think it's good. I don't think the kid's doing a lot, and
No.
I don't think his makeup's that great. It's not as gross. Like, there's something so gross about it.
There are some gross bits. For one bit, Russell Crowe, right at the end, sort of throws up black tar. I thought that looked really good.
I think sometimes it looks
some
really
of the effects
good.
are really good. Some like the CGI mouth thing, ridiculous. It's tough. But, we looked at the budget, 18 million, which I assume 19 went to Russell, and then there were a lot of debt.
Yeah, I don't think this is definitely... Because it's not like you're watching this movie and you're like, Russell's very passionate about being in this film right now. I don't know why Hollywood doesn't want to hire Russell Crowe. Like, why is he doing Unhinged? Why is he doing The Pope's Exorcist?
I don't know, because they're definitely a step up from, like, those, like, I don't know, whatever the Bruce Willis movies were at the end. Like,
yes, absolutely. They're not straight to DVD.
No.
Both of the movies are still going to cinemas, but he's weird. He's just doing genre B-movies.
Yes.
Because he's still doing things like... Craven and the Craven the Hunter, and he was like did the Nice Guys. He's in like Thor.
I guess it's
he's doing.
It's a nice big paycheck, and you're sort of the main star.
I wonder if it is a thing of because he's usually given supporting roles now. He likes to grab a genre B movie. He's probably also at a point in his career where he gets to be a bit like he must have just been like, I would like to put on a silly Italian accent for an Italian film.
100%.
Because he is like he
doesn't fit in this film because
not at all.
Which again is almost half the charm of it because everyone's like so serious and then he's comes in. His introduction's great into this house. He drinks a whole thing of whiskey and goes, "You read my book?" He's like, "No." He's like, "You should read my book. The
books are good."
The books
he
are
goes,
good.
"The books are good." He's like,
don't.
Yeah, the articles they're meh, but my books, holy shit, man, they'll ruin
$2.49.
you.
I got some in my trunk.
You should get them. I'm a bit of a salesman with his little Vespa here. I've got the entire collective works of me. It's amore.
Yeah, he's great, but not allowed. It should not be in this film.
No, he shouldn't be in this film. I do want to give him an absolute shout out because I've never actually heard somebody speak fluent Italian and sound so Australian while doing it.
It's dreadful.
It's awful.
Yo, como estás, my Mr. Pope?
He has made such a beautiful language, so foul and raspy. He's taken the worst parts of an Australian accent and paired it with the worst bits.
Pushed it into an Italian accent, really.
It really is. It's nails on a chalkboard. It's awful to hear. It's funny because he's giving his all for it. You can see the director being like, "No, man, this scene's in English. Like, you just do a silly little accent and never utter an Italian word again to anyone, please."
Scuse.
Spaghetti.
I'm rhymey Cockney slang, alright? I'll slash your fucking tyres. I'm Australian and a bit Italian.
We need passata. Cannoli. It's exactly. I'm nailing it. So he comes in. He meets.
Meets the fam.
Well, that's the other thing as well. So he's got an offsider, which is this other priest that happens to be there, right? It's crazy to me that this movie, set in Italy, right, has an Australian as the lead, and then 3 Americans.
Very American, right? They're so how you do. It's very odd. And then I guess it's weird. I didn't realize halfway through the movie that's just his Robin. They're doing like a Batman and Robin.
It is because this guy is, in my opinion, maybe the dumbest character to have ever been. He is constantly making mistakes.
It's crazy. We've learned that the devil can easily be like, I don't know, mocked, and he will fall for it. The devil has taken that on board, been pretty lazy with it, and then this little priest falls for it every time. We get into the Exorcist, we walk in. This is the first one, and it's just like, all right, let's just vibe it out. The devil is like, hey, I hear you're a fucking slut. And this priest goes, why are yada? No, I did not.
It's so good. He strangles a child. Like Homer Simpson-esque, just like, well, yeah, got ya. And Russell Crowe's like, God, you need to get out of here. Like, if the devil was like, you got weak wrists, the guy's like, ah! Just like,
I'll strangle you. I'll show you. Constantly, again, with the naked comment, he's wearing a scarf, and he keeps getting strangled with the scarf. Just take off the scarf.
You know for a fact that he's tied his entire fashion sense around the scarf. Like, that's his personality.
Which is wrong,
Yeah, you never tie it to a scarf. Become a glove person.
Oh, of course. Here's the thing. You want to wear socks and you got the scarf on? Don't even fucking bother, okay? Trying to pair those two is a nightmare.
I do love that every time he just like grabs at his neck and he's like, not again. Just take off the scarf, man. Take it off. He is also criminally horny the entire movie.
His whole, I guess his arc is, because essentially the devil will give them visions of just like why you're a sinner. And I think everyone else's is like, fairs. This priest is like, okay, well, I kind of fuck.
Yeah.
And his sin is that he keeps fucking girls.
Yeah.
And the devil's like, hey, that's totally a sin. You own hell. And
he's like, no, man, I married them before and kill them after. It's fine as hell.
I freaking do a couple of Hail Marys and then, Kobe, I'm done.
I do love the fact that these really are 2 of the worst priests to
the
have ever
worst.
been or were.
And the Pope's like, we put the best men on the job.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Absolutely. I feel like you get the sort of vibe that maybe the Pope got elected. And then, I don't know, his crazy nephew, Jerry, was like, oh, can I have a job there? And they're like, yeah, you can be my exorcist.
Yeah.
Go and flaunt around with all the slutty priests in the backside of Italy and just speak to the Americans and then get out of my face.
Because we find out statistics is like, I don't know, 98% of exorcists don't really need to be exorcists.
No.
His, like, the reason, I guess Russell Crowe's on probation at the start of the film because he did an unlicensed
Yeah.
Exorcist.
And they didn't want a pig to die.
Yeah.
They're like, how dare you kill that little piggy pig?
Yeah, while they're eating like a big like pork chop,
Yeah,
you know?
that's right. They're sitting down to a giant feast and they're going, this is sauntered with the demon's blood. I hope you're happy, but God,
will
it's
say,
juicy.
Here's the thing. You get a demon in you, that's going to be real tender pork, okay?
Absolutely.
You're going to be a gorgeous little barbecue right there.
I wonder what it feels like to have a demon in you.
Oh, damn. You are
Right?
slutty like that priest.
He walks in naked
you rocked
on
up
me.
naked to the like this.
Yeah.
All right, I'm ready for an exorcist.
This is me. Oh, there's a demon inside me and it needs to get out.
Let's go to a hall of mirrors. You throw me around. Why you tussle me around?
There's a mattress everywhere you pick.
The film kind of comes to a grinding halt because now they're sort of standing around. They're like, well, should we just look around the house?
They just sort of get thrown around a bit for
Yeah.
a while. The movie definitely doesn't know how to settle into what it's doing because it never, ever gets to a point of horror. And it's sometimes just adventure. Like, they're like, a key! We need to find the key!
It's very, like, I don't know, National Treasure-esque.
It's very National Treasury. Like, there's a secret to this home
Yeah.
that they must uncover. Like, it'd be crazy if they opened up one of the drawers and just the president was in there.
Oh, yeah.
That'd be
Well, I
quite
mean,
a
they're
reveal.
changed the Pope. It's kind of that similar.
Maybe we could find out what was on page 49 or whatever it was.
Of the Bible?
No, you know, in the end of National Treasure 2, that big setup for the third one, they just never made
Never
it.
got it. Damn. So they're looking around the house. I think parallel to this, the Pope's also, I don't know, like reading something.
So was that the Pope?
well, I don't
Because
know.
I didn't think it was the Pope, but I didn't know who it would be.
What do you mean? The guy in the white?
Yeah.
That's the Pope.
That was the Pope?
Surely that's the Pope.
Nobody seems to be around him.
No, it's pretty like low key. It seems like
Yeah.
everyone can just walk up to the Pope. I don't know what the Vatican's like, really.
But I don't understand how this demon can target anyone that isn't around the house.
Well, I'm now thinking that that almost if you get into a priest, you've like put yourself into the cloud for the Vatican.
Oh,
so
like
if you
you're
get
in
if
the
you get,
iCloud.
if you get if you get
It's an auto sync.
yeah. If you get into like one exorcist, you're fine. You can jump around to like
Yeah.
everyone. I think that was the devil's goal, right? That's it, right?
Must be.
So he's just uploading himself to the cloud. That's his main goal, to get to Russell, to get to the Pope. Because he's got like a direct line to the Pope, which
Oh,
seems
absolutely.
like, I'll be honest, like that should be your number one security, that the Pope doesn't get,
Yeah,
deviled.
absolutely.
Yeah.
It should be the. Yeah, it feels like maybe he should. Maybe it would be better for the Pope to not have an exorcist.
Yes.
Because even then, really, isn't this the state that he probably wants his exorcist to come back and help him?
Yeah. Because now,
Well, now the Pope's in trouble.
Yeah.
And he is the exorcist.
Yes.
And how many times has he been possessed before? So don't you reckon... It's almost like he's sort of sauntering around this house when, like, his actual job is in danger back home at the Vatican.
100%. What happens to the Pope? Is he taken over by the devil?
I don't know. I think he just thinks what the letter that he read was quite good.
And has a heart attack.
Yeah, he has a heart attack.
He gets the willies, and he's like,
does.
Jesus Christ, I need to go to hospital now.
I think... So does the letter he reads... Is that... Who was the letter from?
I think it was an old, like the previous exorcist
Yeah.
person.
Yeah.
Pretty much like, this house is
And
fucking
so
whack,
it
man.
was the Pope learning about the details of
I think
the
so,
home.
yes.
And that made him have a heart attack because they'd done such awful things
Yes.
in the name of Christianity.
Yes.
Yes. Right.
I think that's what it is.
Yeah.
I don't know what this house is. Because they've tried to do an exorcist. I think the devil got involved, and then the Spanish Inquisition happened, which is crazy. That's the plot.
The law is kind of fun in my opinion.
I think so.
Like
I think so.
I think the law is, while I'm not very interested in what's going on, I think the reveal of them doing all of these awful things and saying that it was from the Vatican when
Yeah.
really they were doing devil worship is
Yeah.
a really fun concept.
It's cheeky, it's fun,
Yeah, it's
right?
very cheeky. I would have loved to have seen more of that. It's weird that they focus on flashbacks of like war and a
whole,
bird.
Yes, the whole thing is like, I think Russell Crowe's like tragic backstory, which keeps like getting flashback, is that he's at war and he's got survivor guilt because Jesus
pretended
saved
to be
him.
dead,
He pretended
right?
to be dead. Yes.
Yeah, which is just like, if don't pretend to be dead, just take a bullet.
Oh, really? You're
Yeah.
standing by that, if you're in war, don't be a coward, just get shot in the face.
Yeah, I think until I have to experience it, whatever.
I'm happy to stand by that.
Yeah.
I will. But wouldn't that be more tactical? Because then you're back in action.
I'm somebody that would definitely fall on their own sword. So
Oh.
I'm not exactly... I definitely wouldn't be brave
Crazy
about
you're
it.
fighting with swords. What war do you think? Warfare's in advanced quite a bit since your age, you know?
Oh, I'm just a prisoner of it. Yeah. So I don't think these war flashbacks do anything.
No, well, we get
That's
the
a waste
context
of
of the
money.
bird. You know, it's nice of the bird.
Yeah, I didn't need context for that bird.
No.
That bird had a cum and it looked delicious.
Oh, it
that
did.
boy was probably just a little bit hungry.
No satanic stuff either. That was just a good, nice bird.
That was a good, delicious looking bird, and he
little
ate
pheasant?
it. And he, it looked like Tweety, and he ate it like Sylvester would.
I love what it's crazy Sylvester doesn't chew.
I
You
know.
know? I feel like that's kind of the problem with this whole thing. He always gets them in his mouth and never chews.
No,
I don't know
that's
why
right.
he saves the chewing.
Because I think the bones would be too,
He's a cat, you know. He's not.
cats
fussy.
hate a bone.
Famously.
Famously, cats hate. Have you ever seen a cat bury a bone? No, the dogs bury a bone.
That's very true. It's crazy. Dogs have really got the personality of bone. Like that's like their big
They
thing.
love
you
a
know?
bone.
Well, they do. All their like the water bowls are bones. They're like they're.
It's weird they've got the monopoly on bone.
It's crazy, right?
Yeah, isn't that nuts?
That's
Do
what I'm
you
saying.
reckon-
I think cats have been mistreated.
Aren't teeth bones?
Yes.
Do you reckon then
A teeth is a bone.
Yeah, so do you reckon a dog would react well to like finding teeth?
I think so. It'd be almost like I don't know, like
A
little,
Tic Tac?
well, like mini M&Ms kind of
Yeah.
for them. I feel like a bone is like a good, I don't know, big M&M, a Mars bar. if
Yes,
you will.
and this is a little snack size.
Yes, yes.
So like a bone's a bit of a king-sized Mars bar.
Yeah.
And they've got themselves a little Snickers.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like
Man.
something from like a box of favorites or celebrations.
100%. They would love a big bag, a big thing of. Do you think a dog just chewing a bunch of teeth would be nice?
Maybe. If you've ever fed your dog teeth, email us at wwwtpodcast@gmail.com.
Thank you. Oh, it's ask.
Oh, is it? They'll work it out.
Anyway, off the teeth tangent, I guess.
Oh, I got a lot more on teeth, but that's fine. The mum and the daughter just keep getting themselves into situations.
The daughter it's so ridiculous. They keep going, is the exorcist done? And Russell's against a wall. They're like, I think I can step in. The daughter gets possessed immediately.
She's thrown through every wall that ever is or ever was.
It's crazy that they had a Reno team. They must have come back and go, oh, you're already bulldozed. Because so many people have been thrown to this wall.
Yeah. They have the perfect gag for when the house is in shambles at the end to be like, ugh, I guess this is like an easy reno now, you know? Like,
But Russell Crowe says it in that Italian accent and it pays off so well.
it is an easy renovation now. Spaghetti? Oh, I'm Russell.
You've gone Russian there.
No.
Da.
Duh. Duh.
Yeah, the mum and daughter, I don't know why. I mean, I'd give up.
Yeah.
I'd give up.
There is an effect I really liked, and that was the mum getting swallowed by the bed.
Oh, I thought that was fantastic.
I thought that
right?
was great.
It's a weird thing where you're like, oh, some of these effects are fantastic.
Yeah.
I think the ceiling stuff's really cool, but the swallowing the bed looked fantastic.
Swallowing the bed looked really good. It reminded me of Poltergeist. Don't know if
Yes.
you've ever seen Poltergeist.
Is that the one where Johnny Depp gets that happen to him?
No, that's,
that's
Nightmare on Elm Street.
yeah.
Poltergeist is the Spielberg one.
Yeah.
That's does this stuff and torments children in sort of very fun practical effect ways.
Yeah.
This reminded me of that.
Nice.
I also really liked that it wasn't a reveal that this was in her head. Because when the Pope runs in, he's like, "Oh dear God, you're getting swallowed by the
Oh,
bed."
yeah.
And like, has to, like,
he picks
fish,
it. He
has to
picks him up
fish
like,
her- yeah.
Jesus Christ. Whatever happens. Oh, yeah. So the son's possessed.
It wasn't possessed either. That's just she's had that bed for a while.
It's a bad IKEA
It's just a
bed.
bad bed.
Yeah, you can't commit to that. It's an old, musty mattress. Huh?
What do we think's
Just like
down
that
there?
priest stuff. Such a
That's
slut.
why they can't use any mattresses anywhere because
No.
they swallow as well, just like the demon. Am I right? Yes, yes.
Guy's a little slut, isn't
Oh
he?
my God, this is
God.
the horniest movie I've ever seen.
I think it's super horny.
This is super
We've
horny.
not even gone to the nudity yet. 'Cause
Oh
the priest,
yeah,
the
when they get some nudity in there, you're just like, damn, the Pope's Exorcist is going off.
the demon's like, oh, by the way, priest, you want to see how horny you can be? Here's the naked girl you fucked. He's like, hubba, hubba. Starts taking off his clothes immediately. He's got no... Russell's only advice is just don't fall for it,
Just
man.
don't
It's so
fall
easy.
for anything.
He
Just-
fell for the pig shit. You shouldn't fall for it either.
This guy, he's pre-condomed himself, so the moment there's an erection, he's grown into it. That's how ready to have sex with this demon he is. It's terrible. He's also like, sometimes he also just gets his face close to the demon and they like bite him, and I'm like, don't get
Oh, he
so
bites
close.
his ear off. He bites his ear
Yeah.
off. It's a good 40 minutes of them really just stumbling through, trying to figure out how it is. And it
Yeah.
feels like the holy water and the cross could have been... How do they finish it? It's just a cross, right?
It's just a cross.
Yeah.
It's just nothing. The priests are doing a bad job. They find out the name of the demon. There's
Yes.
some more explosions. they get to a point where they go, let's go confront the demon.
Yes.
Right? So the child has now got on proper makeup for... Again, I don't think this makeup is comparable with the original.
It's not great.
Like,
it's not great.
I just think the old Exorcist is so long ago. As if you don't look as good, like in terms of just doing practical makeup.
They had a lot of effort. They did a lot of like the budget's big for that one.
Yeah.
And they did like they had the whole place like in AC. They've done like the whole Pete. It looks great. It still does look great.
I know, but this movie doesn't have a Max von Sydow. They had a Max von Sydow.
Well, here's the thing: if you have Max von Sydow, you're gonna make a good film.
That's
the thing.
right.
It's
You
that
know
fucking
it.
easy.
We're all big fans of Extremely Loud and Incredibly Close. One of Max von Sydow's best performances.
Is he dead yet?
Sorry, yeah.
What?
Yeah.
When?
Oh, a while ago.
Oh, rats.
Yeah.
Oh, damn.
I know. Did you not watch Extremely Loud and Incredibly Close?
No, but you talked about it last episode. You were like,
Oh, did I?
yeah, you were passionate about that.
Crazy. I've never seen it. I just think it's a wacky name.
I've never. What even is it? I've never even heard of it.
Sorry,
You
it's
said it was
about a
an
boy. Tom Hanks dies in 9/11.
Yeah.
And Sandra Bullock has to raise this child who I think is on the spectrum.
Yeah.
And the dad has left a scavenger hunt for him.
Gotcha.
And he...
And that won an Oscar?
Sorry, it was nominated for one.
Yes.
For Max von Sydow in supporting actor. And I believe he plays a mute that has no on one hand and yes on the other. I'm going off a trailer I saw before Hugo. So just that's
really,
it. That's my context.
I mean, here's the thing. This is kind of the vibe of the podcast, right?
Oh, absolutely.
Vaguely remembering things we watched.
Yeah, I know. I also need to throw out there, I may not even be describing Extremely Loud and Incredibly Close because I don't know. This could be a different film, but I'm pretty sure it's Extremely Loud and Incredibly Close. It's definitely not Max von Sydow and the Man with Two Hands.
Oh, but a much better film. A much
What an
better
incredible film.
Here's the thing.
He's got two hands.
Yeah. no shit. That's the title.
So, no, it's so good.
They kind of spoil the whole film, don't they?
Oh, they do. He loses both his hands immediately. What a prologue.
It's a classic, you just spoil it, then bam,
know.
you redo it.
It was a real Argyle-esque twist where people were like, we're here to see the two hands, and they were like, the two hands are barely in it.
God, we were going to see Argyle. We should probably just say what we're
Yeah,
going
we
to do.
should say we were going to watch Argyle, and then...
Oh, just no energy to watch that. Just
No, I
no
just
energy.
couldn't be bothered.
It was 2 hours 30.
Did you realize it was that long? It's fine. We're going to do Madame Web, so it's easy.
Yeah.
We're venturing to the cinema, don't
Yeah.
worry. Yeah, so we're essentially in the climax before the climax.
Yes.
And that's when we get the big reveal. The daughter's also possessed.
This is huge.
Which I thought was pretty clear from her holding hands with the demon earlier in the film.
I didn't realize that was even a twist, I'll be honest. I thought we all kind of knew.
Yep.
But I guess we weren't really focused on it. No one's that, bothered by, The Exorcist. It's just, the child is sort of we're going to have to... They're talking while he's in the room. The stakes aren't high.
The thing the mother says at some stage, he hasn't talked in the last year and a half, so in a sense, I've already lost him.
Yeah. Which is crazy.
Which is crazy.
Yeah.
So she's just like, if he was to die now, that's one less burden.
Dare I say, the doctors are pretty shitty, though, because he goes, he's pretty possessed. They're like, here's a bunch of pills. They just get him Xanaxed up. He's, conked out. No wonder he's not speaking. He's vibing,
Oh,
okay?
absolutely. He's just having a good time. He's
Yeah.
just listening to music. Imagine how
Mum,
good
shut
that
up,
music's.
shut up. Oh, my God.
I'm just learning what I enjoy about my body right now. Just, can you
I
leave
love
me
being
alone?
thrown against a mirror. I
Oh
love
my
being 20 foot, just drop onto the mirror.
I like things that are cold.
You ever chewed ice? Oh, it's so good.
Yeah, so then things go awry.
It goes awry, but they also go, let's go down to the catacombs.
It feels like the mum should have died in this scene because she gets her head smashed through a sink.
Yeah.
Very violently.
People keep getting smashed up against really heavy rock. The
Yeah.
priest gets about 3 statues. Everyone should be head trauma.
Oh,
no
absolutely.
wonder, actually. They're following Russell.
I think, honestly, when they all hop in the car with the mum driving at the end, it wouldn't surprise me if they just crashed about 100 meters
Imagine
down.
if they were all 3 of them were impaled. It'd be sad, but it would be a little bit funny. That's the thing. The dad in heaven, you guys too?
Yeah, absolutely. Just the Pope's exorcist standing over all the dead bodies impaled and just being like, oh, God works in mysterious ways.
Calls the Pope. Yep.
Yeah.
Job well done.
I eradicated the family.
Yeah.
Don't worry. The Pope's like, wait, what?
This was a search and destroy mission, right? That was what we were doing. I'm the Exorcist. That's kind of like a fun name, but I do kill kids.
I'm a murderer. This is a self-appointed task. I murder. I killed that pig, and then as soon as I knew that boy didn't have a demon in him, I killed him too.
I love that they were like, we're going to fire you, keep killing pigs. Like, well, you didn't fire me, so guess what? I'm going to do it again. I'm going to kill the pigs.
Just goes out of his way to kill a pig.
I do love he keeps putting the demon in, like, kind of people he thinks lesser. Like, he's like, oh, I killed that kid, so the demon's gone for a bit longer. He's like, why did you kill a kid? He's like, if it gets into me, then it's all over.
You don't realize it's like a virus. Okay, we're a hive mind, apparently. The
Vatican's a hive mind, and there's a virus trying to infiltrate. And if I have to put in a kid and then shoot the kid in the face, that's a good thing for me. That's a good thing for Christianity, okay?
I was really, because I got bored, I started looking up other exorcism movies.
Yes.
And one of the ones that I remember liking as a kid, I've never seen it again, but it was called The Last Exorcism, and it was a found footage thing of a priest going to help out with an exorcism. And what threw me about it was I looked up the ending of the movie and I did start to watch it. And the top comment on it was, when evil presents itself, we don't run from it. With Jesus by our side, we fight against it. And then they've got pray hands. Are exorcism movies for the religious? Or are they for horror fans?
It's a real interesting one, because I was thinking it'd be weird to show this to, like, I don't know, Christian families, like, come watch the new Russell Crowe movie. I don't know. And that's a hard one, because I think it was almost, normally the ending is almost, I think The Exorcist is almost the only one that doesn't sort of end in, like, hey, we did pretty well, you know, good triumphed over bad. Because The Exorcist ends in quite, like, the priest dies, I'm pretty sure.
Yes. I think they all die.
Yeah.
Yes, they all die in The Exorcist.
Yeah, and it sort of ends on that sort of note of, like...
Spoilers.
Yeah, sorry. It's 50 years old.
I'm so sorry. I'm not that apologetic.
Oh, no.
It's fine.
But I don't know. That is a good point, because I feel like you can kind of trick them into both.
Yeah,
you get the horror fans, and cause I think that's why The Exorcist did so well, possibly.
Maybe, yeah.
Like, it was definitely known as, like, the scariest film ever, and I think that was a good tagline. But I guess you could get away with it being like, well, you know, God triumphs over the bad.
Yeah. Well, that's why I thought it was worth asking, because this is going to influence my who would watch this.
Oh, huge. Okay. I would say yes. I think, but like a sneaky one. No one's saying it, but, you know, it's there.
It's just sneaky.
Yeah.
All right. So we're in this giant climax. Yeah. Russell decides.
We should explain it. There is an entire room down here where the Vatican has been doing evil stuff, exorcisms, and it's just a catacombs.
I would
it's just
love
this
to
old
know,
rickety house in Italy.
Considering the rich history it has in connection to the Vatican.
Yeah.
Why did her husband own this house?
I don't know. I don't think they knew. I think it's been hidden.
But why would he know? Like, how would they end up with it? How would as if this isn't just Vatican owned for the rest of eternity, you know?
Well, I'm loose on my history, but I can't remember how the Spanish, what's it called?
Inquisition.
Yeah, went.
Oh.
Maybe they lost some stuff. I can't remember.
Who's to know?
We're not historians, and we can't.
That's not why you're here.
We don't care to ask.
That's not why you're here.
Yeah.
History's in the past. We're looking forward to movies like The Pope's Exorcist.
Exactly. This is a modern day classic that will be with us for ages.
The demon is inside Russell Crowe.
Yes.
And this is where Russell Crowe decides to just give.
He gives. I think he chews on everything, and you know what? Good for him.
Yeah.
This is my favorite part of the film.
Absolutely.
Russell Crowe going a bit wacky. He's earning that paycheck.
It's crazy because he's essentially just gone, I want to turn this into a one-man show. Yeah. And they're like, then you just go for it.
They do. They go, all right, mum and dad, the main characters of the film, get out. Leave.
They leave.
Get out of here.
Never seen again.
Robin, you can stay, but Russell's going to be here for 10 minutes.
Russell's here now.
Yeah.
And then on top of that, the demon's just hella chatty.
Yeah. So chatty.
Just so chatty.
Really negging like Russell. And Russell's like, I'm going to put you in a fucking pig soon, you piece of shit.
Just essentially just keeps on like giving him running commentating just about what's happening. At one stage, Russell Crowe hangs himself and the demon's like, idiot. And just like throws him to the side. When we get downstairs, this is when it just turns into a surprising amount of... I wasn't aware there was going to be so much special effects. I was aware there was going to be such a heightened level of them just being like, everything happening now. Like,
they get that fun thing where they have like the black thing coming out of his mouth, which I think looks great.
It
And
does.
then
It does look
immediately
good.
next they go like a arm is foul, unhinged jaw.
It
Him
doesn't
just
look good.
Looks dreadful.
It doesn't
but
look good.
But hey, 18 million again. Most of that went to Russell Crowe, and I guess that child took the rest.
At one stage, Mary rises from the ground.
Yeah,
Maybe? I'm not sure.
Yeah, I guess he's got sort of two harrowing backstories. He's got the World War II, and also his first Exorcist maybe didn't go too well.
Yeah,
and he
ended in a suicide.
Yeah,
Which I feels like that's probably a win.
yeah. I don't know what his like goal. What's his like mission statement? Is it just to get rid of demons?
Surely the win is getting rid of the demon.
Yeah.
And then it's like a double
Any
win if
means
you say,
necessary.
yeah, don't you reckon? It feels
Surely
like he's,
not, because you just walk in there with a gun.
I
every
think
time.
he wants to try.
He wants to, with the gun,
Absolutely.
but the Vatican's like, give it a go first.
I assume if things hadn't gone well here, he
Yeah.
would have killed that kid. I think it's just like once after 7 days pass,
Yeah.
he kills a kid,
100%.
regardless of their
That
possession.
priest strangling him is like, this is my training. I'm so sorry. It's been 2 days.
Russell
I'm just-
Crowe's just like, you've got to give it 7.
Yeah.
That's how long it took to build the earth. That's how much time we give the possessed.
It's gotta be good numbers, okay? We've got to keep in line. But yeah, he just sort of beats it with the cross.
We've got two things that happen.
Yeah.
One, this red naked woman starts fighting the other. Yeah.
Yes, the guy tries to fuck her, like, instantaneously. He drops he's like, please, just fuck me. Come on,
He's
please.
like, I don't care if you kill
I know,
me.
yeah.
Just let me feel it one last time.
Just want a nut. Just give me one more nut, please. Russell Crowe's like, just throws a little coin at her. She's like, it blows up.
Yeah.
I think the effects of
I
this look
loved
great.
her popping.
How good was it?
She
It's
popped like a zit.
She's all red, and then she, like, you know when those stress balls that have, like, the mesh thing around them?
Yeah.
You press it, and it stretches out, and then it was like, poof,
Yeah, it's
looked
like that. It's
fantastic.
great.
It's such a 50-50 on the effects.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I feel like they definitely picked, they were like, we want it to look good here. If it's bad there, it probably doesn't influence anything,
Yes.
you know?
Yeah.
They're sparing
I think
with
they've used the budget. I mean, I'm mocking it, but the budget has been like, it sucks, but we want a good effect here, and it sucks. We have to
Like,
bring
I
that
think
one
it's
here.
fine. I think my issue with the budget is the fact that I've seen more successful exorcism movies use way less money.
Like, which ones? Like, recently? 'Cause I don't think so. Like, 18 million.
I mean,
The
the
original
Conjuring movies are exorcism movies.
Yeah,
like,
sure.
and they're all done on the
But
cheap.
they haven't gone
So
anywhere
is
with
Insidious. Insidious is like a $3 million movie.
Yes,
Like,
yeah, true. It's the director of he's kind of done like 4 films now with like
Yeah.
A-list celebrities, and they're kind of bargain bin
He's
stuff.
done one great movie.
Is it not the-
Overlord.
Gotcha.
Is so good, so fun, so ridiculous.
Nice.
It's zombies in like war.
Yeah, man.
And it's like the war scenes are sick. The special effects in that are really good. The makeup and sound design's awesome. Overlord is like a recommend from me.
Because he also did the Samaritan. Is that the one?
Yeah,
with
that looked terrible.
My dad watched that and was just furious. He's just like
Crazy because it looks like a dad movie,
Yeah,
right?
that's the thing. I think he definitely clicked on it. It's like, that's a dad movie. That's for me,
Yeah.
and it wasn't for him. So that film's just out of the way. Because it's like a
Damn.
Marvel film for dads. It
Yeah,
seems.
that's
it's
right.
like an old codger's got powers and he likes to box.
They just sort of did Rocky, but if he punched, it went a little bit harder than
yeah,
before.
pretty much.
Okay, so we get to the end of the movie. This demon ends up getting sucked back into the ground because
Yeah.
they use the power of crosses.
Yeah.
La 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 la. The end.
Yeah.
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 So we get this little stuff that happens afterwards, and this is the stuff that sent me.
This
right.
was terrific.
So we get 2 things. One of them is they set up a multitude of sequels.
Yes, they go, hey. So they go into, I guess, we've seen it in like Da Vinci Code. They've got like the Vatican records. And that's like, like sealed rooms and everything looks great. I guess those weren't the Vatican rooms because they're like, we're going to take liberties now. It's like the Apple store and they've got like makeshift like cardinals doing like stuff on Java. It's like they've got the Apple Pro like swiping around like and then like I guess what's it called? Nick Fury, the Pope, is just like there's 199 more locations. And you, Batman and Robin, have got to figure it out. And Russell Crowe in his Italian accent is like, excuse me, there's going to be a lot more exorcism when we come from.
He looks him dead in the eyes and just goes, Arrivederci. And then it just goes, dun, 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 and he walks off into the sunset.
Oh, he scooters off.
He scooters
I
off.
love the scooter. How good's the scooter?
Yeah.
We haven't talked about the scooter enough, but it's
The
just...
Vespa's just phenomenal.
I hope it was whoever decided it, him and his little flappy like Vatican thing, riding through the streets of Venice, gorgeous.
He looks like he has it looks like the scenes from The Dark Knight, just on a way smaller, shittier scale. Like,
What if the Dark Knight had the 10th of the budget?
Yeah.
Christian Bale with a shitty little cape and a Vespa.
He's a watchful person. He is the Pope's exorcist. As he's walking away,
Holy shit, Carl.
this is
me.
this is a twist in of itself.
Yeah.
Really, it's then like this man lived for so long, and he did all these things, and he did all this stuff, and that's how many cases he did.
Yeah.
And I went, "This was true."
Yeah, it's like the end of Argo, like where they were now, and like the actual like comparison. He died in 2016.
I know.
They're going, hey, this happened, and we told it just how it happened.
And then it ends on, frankly, one of the best endings ever, which is it just comes up at the bottom after a good beat and just goes, "The books are good." What a way to end!
It's so fun.
What a way to
Because that
end!
line did make me laugh. That was a great
I
line.
very much laughed.
To the point that I guess that dude was just sort of that was kind of his catchphrase. They've done him really well. I don't
They
know,
have.
What a crazy film. Because it could have been, I don't know, boring.
Yeah.
And let's go down the facts of the exorcism. Whereas this guy's like, nah, this shit all happened and he was sick.
Yes, I love it. They were like, he was the coolest man to ever live, and they're like, get Russell Crowe now. It is like he's not in his peak health. He's doing Italian, and put him on the smallest vehicle you can find. Let's make a joke of this man.
We need to capture this man's essence. He's also, I guess, the Pope. It's crazy the Pope goes there. Like, isn't the Pope God? And he's like, man, I got a better guy. Okay, he knows his stuff way more than me, huh? Carl, who would watch the Pope's Exorcist?
I think The Pope's Exorcist fits into a very bizarre category when it comes to horror.
Yeah.
Which is like blockbuster horror, which is, it's not scary, and it's not even trying to be scary.
But it's actiony, right?
But it's filled with things happening. And they're not particularly good because they're not giving any sort of time for the characters to evolve.
Yeah.
And they're not giving any time for suspense to occur. And so you very much check out until the things just increase enough that you're interested on a visual spectrum.
Yeah.
That's where this sort of falls into. It sort of falls into the cash grabby Conjuring universe movies.
Which I don't think started off as that.
No, that's right.
And they've just, I mean, fair enough. They made like so much money. They're like, we got to make more of these. And then they sort of fell into that sort of like action heaviness of it all.
Which isn't to say that I don't not like those horror movies that do have a budget and do try to do something with more spectacle when it comes to horror.
Yeah.
I just wish that they would take their time to just do anything scary with it.
Oh yeah, it's not scary. And I don't think it's gory, but it is doing something. I think it was the same with Unhinged. Because I don't think Unhinged, I don't know what Russell Crowe's doing. I don't know how he's producing. I don't know what he does when he goes into set. But it seems as though they've got a pretty like designed movie out there, and he's going, I'm gonna do something interesting.
Like, in my opinion, this would be a great movie if Sam Raimi directed this.
Oh yeah,
I
think so.
think he would have run away with this more.
Yes.
He would have gone
Because that
bigger,
middle,
further,
that middle,
higher.
which is sort of like pretty Mirandering, just trying to figure out what he wants to be.
Yeah.
That's where you do all the spectacle stuff. That's
Yeah.
where you do all the interesting effects.
Yeah.
That bed stuff, they had the ability to do it. They just didn't really know what to do, and they sort of. It's a shame because I think the start, like you've established Russell, but you haven't established anybody else.
Yeah.
So you're not really investing in anybody. And then the effects sort of 50-50.
Yeah. So I think it is for if you enjoy a exorcism movie, but you need to be one of those people that enjoys none of the original exorcism movies, but just their lowbrow sequels.
Yes.
Because I think that's the category it falls into, right?
I think so.
Because it's not trying. It's definitely not a movie that's trying to do anything particularly new or interesting.
No. I kind of know that, and they're kind of
Yeah.
happy with that. I just think, commit to, like, not the laziness, but also the just, we know what we're doing, it's a bit cheeky, let's have fun with it. And then, by fun, I mean do those interesting effects. I would say it's crazy, I don't know, these sort of, it's not even a high budget, but I prefer these to, like, sort of, like, just them, like, Mel Gibson is, like, on the cover of the box, and he's in it for 5 minutes. Like, I hate that, like,
I do enjoy when these sort of cheap cash grabby built on a name movies come out. I do enjoy when they're not action. I like when they're genre. I like when they're the random, we got this actor to jump into a horror movie for some reason, and they're going to be moving around a lot. That's the level that I enjoy when it comes to these B movies.
I think so, yeah.
Who do you think would watch this?
It's not Dads.
Oh, it's not Dads.
Yeah. It is, like, I prefer, like, as we said, like, it's not a cash grab. Although it kind of is a cash grab, I enjoy an actor doing something interesting, you know? Russell Crowe probably didn't get told to do an Italian accent, do all these choices, and yet it really works. It's just a shame the film doesn't step up to that.
Yes, it's not meeting his level.
No. I think if it really was meeting his level, and I think the effects were fantastic, it could be quite a nice classic. It's interesting to say about like a big budget horror film, because a hard line to walk, really, isn't it? Because you want spectacle, but the whole point of suspense is kind of the lack of spectacle.
Yeah.
So it's a weird tightrope that they have to go for.
Because some horror movies will lose you when they get to the point of the spectacle.
Yeah.
So it's about finding the right level to evolve to then do the spectacle.
100%.
A very fine tightrope line to walk. Have you seen the original Poltergeist?
No, I haven't.
Because that's more family oriented. I always really enjoy when they get to the spectacle because they've held off on the horror in a very playful sense.
Yeah.
And then they save it for the end when they just bombard them with like horror house style like stuff going off.
Carl, speaking of horror, we both downloaded Tubi. Get Tubi.
You got to get Tubi.
The greatest
We're in
streaming
love with Tubi.
You get 2 ads. You've got either 1930s classics. I'm talking the best films you've ever seen. 70s porn. All those weird B movies. And I guess now just sort of modern day things they found.
Whatever's going out like an out of business. Like the equivalent of what you'd find at a garage sale of modern movies. That's
Tubi has it.
Yeah.
But we watched a movie called Slumber Party Massacre.
Damn straight.
God damn. What a vibe.
What a romp. This movie knows exactly what it is.
It starts off, we're at a school. The film goes, hey, here's 12 people, which is already too many for a horror film, but you know we're gonna kill them all. It starts off, we get shown the killer immediately.
Oh god, somebody gets killed before you even meet the character, and you're like, oh, okay.
The killer's shown to you immediately. It's just a dude with a big drill.
Yeah, in daylight with a van at the school. So the COVID operation is very low. Like people should notice him immediately.
Oh yeah, it was the 80s though. I guess they just didn't bother.
There were always vans outside of school in the 80s, I guess. Even though this one's parked like on the cricket pitch.
Oh yeah, it's the middle of the school. It's just like that's just how we had to rent it out for the car park.
Yeah, people are like screaming at the windows of the van, being like, "Help me!" And they're just like, oh.
And then there's cool dudes are walking around like, can't wait to plow that woman. The guys are dressed fantastically.
I enjoy in a 70s movies that all of the hetero men in them always come across just a bit queer. And I just love that. It just feels like off the charts of the 70s, they were just having a vibe. They were getting high and drunk. And
all
whatever.
their dialogue is just, I can't wait to see a breast.
Oh,
That's
I know.
all they talk about.
They're like, I can't wait to go spook the women tonight.
Yeah, their way is like, we need to try and fuck them. I know how we'll do. We'll go to their house and scare the shit out of them.
Just scare them.
And then I guess they'll fuck us.
They'll respect us, I guess, after
yeah.
we spook the hell out of them. That won't just send them into a blind rage. I do love that once these two guys get let in on the scenario, which obviously leads to their untimely deaths.
Yes.
But there's just a scene with them like talking on a bed, and you're like, are these two guys gonna kiss?
It's oh my god, genuinely the highlight of the film.
It's so good. But
it's
on
the
top
will
of
they
that-
won't they,
Oh,
really.
it really is. It's the Ross and Monica of this film. There's also like a very like fun array of humor through it. Like
Yes.
just so many people just touching the back of somebody being like, hey.
Yeah. Interactions that would never happen. There's like 28 fake outs of just like, I going slapping your back going, hey, how you doing? I've got this big knife in your face. Don't worry though, it's just for cutting cake. Don't worry.
There's just a man going around just killing, like, I think, what is it?
Snails?
Frogs or snails
Snails.
with like an axe?
A butcher's axe. He slaps it and goes, these snails. And the woman is just like, thank you. You're doing a good service.
It's the only way to get rid of the snails. You're doing the right thing on a Friday night. So don't worry, my parents aren't here. Keep snailing away out there on the property. I also love this great fridge gag as well in it too.
Yes, the fridge gag really lands. Just the woman just opening the fridge, just this dead body flapping about. Oh, great film.
It's just a good time if you're a fan of the old sort of spoofy style of comedy. It feels like it's both in tune to the style of like horror that was coming out in the 70s while also mocking it a bit, which is really fun.
I think so.
I think all of the acting's at a really fun, heightened level.
I think so.
And I did love the fact that this director, one of the fun facts of the director is that they were meant to edit E.T.
E.T. Steven Spielberg was on the phone like, hey, we're in the cutting room floor. You gotta get here. And she's like, don't you fucking call this number again. I found a guy with a drill, and I've got a bunch of kids, and we're gonna see what happens.
I did love, I don't know if it's true, but I did read at a Q&A when they did, because this movie's become a bit of a cult classic. They asked the director, do you regret not editing E.T.? And she was like, God, no, my movie's fucking great.
And
I love that.
It's such a fucking vibe.
Slumber Party Massacre, available on Tubi.
Check it out.
Oscar, what are we reviewing next week?
Next week, Carl, we are... Damn. Just a little backstory. My mum actually died while she was... We already fucking know. It's Madame Goddamn Webb.
Madame Webb!
We're going to the cinema. Carl and I are going to be holding hands Valentine's Day. Our partners are furious. Quite frankly, it's left us in a lot of turmoil.
Absolutely. My partner's left that wedding ring at the door.
Yeah.
They're that upset about me going to see Madame Webb without them.
My partner has changed the locks, and quite frankly, I think I'll be sleeping in the cinema.
Yeah.
But, Dakota Johnson, we can't wait.
We cannot wait. Sydney Sweeney, Dakota Johnson, some other people, I guess. I think maybe Adam Scott was in the trailer.
Huge.
So, it's an all-star cast of who's who of some people we know all together in a superhero movie.
They didn't know
not look good.
They didn't know not know it was Marvel. They found out day 3 it was Sony. So cannot wait. Thank you for listening.
Thank you.